human. And as a human, we will let each other down. We will make mistakes. Never, ever, ever makes a mistake. Never. His sacrifice of his son, his only son, shows the love he has for us. Shows the faithfulness of him. His sacrifice will take you, if you accept him into your heart, from an eternity of death to an eternity of life. You can't get more faithful than that, can you? He gives us the opportunity. His sacrifice put him in harm's way. When he went on that cross, took them great big dirty whacking nails through his body, was whipped, which would have killed most people beforehand, that tore out flesh, not just opened up a cut, but tore flesh where you would have seen bone. That's his sacrifice. Some questions. Question number 1. Have you experienced God's love? These are pertinent to what I'm talking about this morning. Have you experienced God's love? And I know that's really hard, unless you're a woman, to do 2 things at once. Okay? But I want you to think on these questions even as I speak. Number 2. How have you experienced God's love? And number 3. How has God specifically made his love known to you? So we move on. So we are to love, okay? I feel that I'm constantly speaking about this, and maybe I am. But I just feel that God just keeps bringing me back there. I had to readjust how I wrote this, because when I read it, as I was typing it up last night, it sounded really harsh. And I don't want it to sound really harsh, because it's not intended to be. So I had to change how I wrote this. We need to be people that love every Christian, every person. If every Christian loved how Jesus loved, there would be no empty or half-empty churches. Because people would be in love with Jesus, because we would be such an awesome witness of the love of God, that people wouldn't be able to help themselves but get to where more people of God are and worship God together. In fact, we'd probably be halfway through the second service of the day. We'd probably have another couple of services going on after this, and we'd have to contain it, oh my goodness, to like an hour and 15 minutes, the whole service, and just get it done. Maybe 4 or 5, and then the guys in the afternoon, when they do the service in Romania, might have to have 3 or 4 services as well. How amazing would that be? We might be tired for a little while, those preaching and doing the worship, but you know what? With that amount of people, you teach very quickly other people to do stuff. But do we do what we should be doing? Imagine seeing a group of firefighters polishing their engine outside a burning building with people trapped in the top floor window. Help me!
There's nothing wrong with cleaning the fire engine, but there are places and times to do it. Not while people are trapped in a burning building. Instead of ignoring their cries, the firefighters should have an overwhelming sense of urgency to rescue them. That's the spirit that should be behind the task of evangelism. You know what? There's some figures. About 2% of believers regularly share their faith with others. That's poor, isn't it? That's really poor. Abysmal. It's not even on the scale, is it? 2% of believers share their faith with others. And you know what? That's not down to whether you're an evangelist. That's not down to whether it's a gifting. It's a commandment. Be light, like I am light. Be love, like I am love. Sometimes you have to open our mouths and share the love of God. It's not an if you feel like it. Come on, let's take some people with us. It's not about filling the church. It's just a part of the Great Commission. Are we lukewarm? Happy with our own little existence? Or do we want to see people in heaven? Yeah. Anyone want to see people in heaven? Okay, so I'll give you all a date and we're going to go out. And we're going to love people. Okay? Seriously, we need to love people. Oswald J. Smith said, "Oh my friends, we are loaded down with countless church activities, while the real work of the church, that of evangelising and winning the lost, is almost entirely neglected. We have polished the engines of worship, prayer and praise, and neglected the sober task given to us by God. A firefighter who ignores his responsibilities and allows people to perish in flames is not a firefighter. He's an imposter." Sorry, I have to get the language right. They are an imposter because there are men and women who are firefighters. But they are an imposter. How could we ignore our responsibility and allow the world to walk blindly into the fires of hell? If God's love dwells in us, we must warn them. Not in a pointing finger way, but in love. Because that's how it needs to be. People have had enough of the church going, "Sinner, you're going to hell." Yeah, thanks. Go on. You actually need to be love. Show love. Have love. So you can't show love if you have no love. The Bible tells us to have compassion, save with fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh. Jude, it's only got one chapter, so Jude verses 22 to 23 says, "And have mercy on those who doubt, save others by snatching them out of the fire. To others show mercy with fear, hating even a garment stained by the flesh." If we don't have love and compassion, and we have the love and the knowledge and the heart of Jesus in us, then who else is going? Who else is going? That's why we go out to Kenya, to Kisumu. That's why we've gone out to Romania. Because we want to share God's love with everyone. That's why we are here as a church. To love people. To see people won for Christ. That's why I get to go in prisons in different places. We're going to have to start doing it here. Because I'm mad and I like hugging people. I don't like hugging people, but God drives me to hug people. I think it's part of my rehabilitation. But all the way through the Gospels, whenever Jesus does something
He does it because he has compassion on people. If we don't love and have compassion, then we don't know God. That makes us imposters. 1 John 4:8 in this section says, anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. So if you're here this morning and you struggle with loving people,